Hey, Solely family. I hope you're well. I can't believe we're still doing this. Hopefully these videos are an encouragement to you. I know listening to other pastors, they really are to me. So I just want to say thank you to you guys. Pastor Noise this last Sunday, awesome. I thought it was awesome. I'm hoping John does a series on these topics of defending our faith. But speaking of this last week, I was struggling with a few things on Sunday, and I'm hoping the encouragement that I've received over this week in the Word is an encouragement to you if you've maybe experienced the same ups and downs that I have. My family was sitting there on the couch Sunday morning, going through the liturgy, watching the sermon, and as thankful as I am for it, I feel like this week I experience more than ever the longing to be past this stage that we're in. And I've been so proud and so thankful, grateful for how much my family has grown, how healthy they are in this last year at Soli, and how my kids have picked up the rhythm of Soli and worshiping. They have the rhythm of the Lord's Day. And I just, looking at my kids, it's harder to keep them corralled on the couch. I feel like we're a little too comfortable. It's a little too casual. And just having the thought that that's eroding, that progress that we've made is slowly eroding the more this goes on, and that those rhythms that they've learned, it's getting harder and harder to hang on to those rhythms, and we're getting out of step. And as with every week, I long more and more. The longer this goes on, the more I long for us to be back together. And so my encouragement to you today is one that I've been going through, and I hope it encourages you, is that we don't have to be the victims of this, and we don't have to have our confidence in navigating this issue, but we have a greater confidence. And that's what I want to point you to, and that's what I want my eyes to be fixed on. As we go through this process, it's good to look back and to realize that we didn't get ourselves to where we are. My family, me personally, I didn't get myself to where I am, but my family to where they are, and Soli didn't get itself to where it is on its own by our own wisdom, but the Lord has brought us here, and there's a confidence that we have in that. We see in Romans 9, speaking of Jacob and Esau, it says, though they were not yet born and had done nothing either good or bad, in order that God's purpose of election might continue, not because of works, but because of him who calls. We want to hang our hat on something to say this is how we have partnered with God, and now we're one. But the beauty is that we didn't, that the Lord was the one who initiated this relationship and called us to complete his perfect will for us. And so the confidence here is that if we did nothing to acquire this, to gain ourselves into this position, there's a confidence then that we can carry as our faithfulness wanes and goes in and out with the tide. If we had Soli, for instance, if we had gotten ourselves and schemed our way to this place that we are, then our confidence lies in our schemes, in our wisdom, in our relationships, whatever it may be. And thank God that that's not how Soli came about. But the confidence is that the Lord has been laying the steps in building his church and building this church Soli. And so there's a confidence that, hey, the four pastors, we haven't done everything right, and we're not geniuses, but we're, to our best of our ability, pursuing the Lord and following him. And there's a confidence that we didn't get ourselves here, but he has called us to this place. So Christian, the confidence that you have is that you didn't get yourself somewhere, but that he's called you. And so then that confidence is constant. As your faithfulness goes in and out, and mostly out like mine, those days where you feel like you're faithful, and I've never had a perfect day, I don't know about you, but those days that you feel like you're faithful, maybe your confidence is high that day. But then most of the days where you're not faithful our confidence is low and our assurance is low. But it doesn't need to be, because it's not our works that got us there, but it's God who called us. And it's not only him who called us, but he's going to be the one that preserves us. He doesn't just get us started, get us into the game, and then back off. We see in John 10:28-29, it says, I give them eternal life, and they will never perish, and no one will snatch them out of my hand. My Father who has given them to me is greater than all, and no one is able to snatch them out of the Father's hand. I and the Father are one. So he's not only called us and done the work of calling us, so our confidence lays in him, in his faithfulness, but he's preserving us, that the church is going to be preserved. Those that the Lord has called will be preserved until that day when everything is made right. And then we have the hope that in the meantime, the Lord is working this perfect will. And we know this verse, Philippians 1:6, where Paul is writing, I am sure of this, that he who began a good work in you will bring it to completion at the day of Jesus Christ. So Christian, be encouraged that the Lord is the one who initiated and called you. And he is the one that is going to preserve you until that day. And in that meantime, the Lord is going to see to completion the work that he started in you and in me. And so this thought that I'm having of maybe we're being a victim to this global pandemic and we're going to lose ground that we've gained and we're getting out of the rhythm that we've gotten into. But we don't need to be a victim. Is that through mountaintops and valleys that we're going to continue to have through this life, there's a confidence that runs greater than all of that runs above all that. And that confidence is that the Lord has called us, the Lord will preserve us, and the Lord is going to see this to its completion. So church, Soli's not a victim. Christian, you are not a victim. I am not a victim. We serve the victorious one, and he is going to see this to its completion. So be encouraged. I pray that we gather together soon. But in the meantime, if you're struggling, know that you're not a victim through this, but we have the ultimate victory, and that the Lord is working his perfect will in and through us. I love you guys. If you need anything, please reach out to me. Me and my family do whatever we can to help you out. Be encouraged today. Jesus wins in the end. Be encouraged, family. I love you. See ya.